What's up, everybody, and welcome to another energetic episode of America's Best Restaurants. Today, we are in beautiful, sunny Seal Beach, California, as I'm getting ready to go try some of the best coffee from what I heard that you're ever going to have. What am I talking about? I am talking about Javatini's Espresso, where I hear the owner, Rob, has a special process that gives you the best coffee that you've ever laid taste buds on. So I'm really excited to go inside, have some fun, and of course, get to the eating. Okay, so we have a very unique but still awesome episode of the ABR Roadshow as I am here at Javatini's, baby, as I have Rob, the owner of Javatini's, right next to me. Rob, man, thank you so much for allowing us to highlight you guys.
Well, I'm so excited to have you here, Theo. There's just so much I want to share with everyone.
Awesome. Well, I'm already jazzed up because I already done had a cup of your delicious coffee. So I want to know more about this thing right here. What's going on with this contraption?
Okay, so we roast all of our coffee fresh right here. And well, let me start the process. In case you don't know, this is what our beans look like before they're even roasted. They're green. So we put the beans up top here.
So you roast your beans yourself here?
Yes.
Wow.
And so this way they are super fresh and we have control over exactly how they're roasted.
So when you say you have control over exactly how they're roasted, what do you mean by that?
The quality. The quality is real important to us. And so you're gonna notice that they start out green. Now heat's being applied. Heat comes from underneath here, and as it goes through the process, you're gonna smell the beans. It starts out and you'll start to smell what's like wet grass. And then as it gets darker, you'll start smelling like pancakes.
Oh, that's a big transition.
Yeah. And then from that, it goes into the smell of baked bread, and then eventually to coffee, and then voila, they're done. And what I love about fresh roasted coffee, you say, well, what difference does it make? Coffee is coffee, right? You can say the same with chocolate chip cookies.
True.
You want to get chocolate chip cookies at the grocery store or fresh out of the oven at grandma's?
Absolutely.
All right? These are grandma's cookies right here, okay? It tastes awesome.
You know, I love that analogy too, because, you know, people don't really think about the whole process that goes into making coffee. They just go to their local store, they get a cup of joe, or, you know, they just hit the little handle, you know, at work, you know, for the Folgers or whatever, and they drink their coffee. They don't think about the entire roasting process and how special it can make your coffee depending on what you're doing.
Same thing here, and that's what makes us real special. And actually, what I'm roasting here, these are for espresso beans, and so with that, we have to go through a whole process. So after they go through a big transition, they actually expand in size, the beans, and we have to let them rest for about 2 days before we can use them because they get really gassy. When they're gassy, then it's really hard and we'll get over to the espresso machine, but you have to have it dialed in just right to taste good. But if it's still gassy, you get it dialed in, and 5 minutes later, they'll be out. So we have to let it rest, settle down, and then we can use the coffee. The temperature to which we roast it affects the flavor of the beans dramatically. I spent a lot of time figuring out, is it 432 degrees or is it 400 degrees or what?
And that makes that big of a difference, 32 degrees.
Huge.
Wow.
Huge. I mean, actually even 4 degrees makes a big difference.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It's kind of like rare steak, medium rare, or well done.
So now, right now, I'm noticing that these once green coffee beans have now turned into almost kind of a wood-looking color, almost reminding me of a peanut. Like if I didn't know any better, I would think these are peanuts instead of a coffee bean. How much longer do we have for this process?
It'll take another 4 minutes or so.
Another 4 minutes. Now, what were you doing before you did this, Rob?
I was a mechanical engineer.
There we go. He was a mechanical engineer. This is why this guy's coming up with all these different formulas and all, because he can't. It's your nature, right?
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to let these beans cook up so they get to that perfect temperature in a couple of minutes. And then when we're done, we're going to head over to that espresso machine and we're going to show you how real true espresso is made. So now we got this freshly roasted coffee beans here. Never knew that they also started off green. Now they're a beautiful brown. What are we doing next?
Okay, this is the heart of the store. Whenever I go to any new coffee shop, this is the first thing I do is I get a shot of espresso to see what it is. So what we're doing is we have espresso beans that have been resting for 2 days, and now we're here and we're grinding the beans to be dispensed into our portafilter. Okay, then we put the shots of espresso here, and what's super important is that we have the right amount of coffee being ground at the right coarseness, and which will have it come out at the right time. This tells me how much time. And when everything lines up just right with super fresh coffee, it tastes awesome. I don't know if you're up for espresso, but
Sure thing. Here we go.
oh man, that's good.
How do you do it? It's hot. You just threw it back like it wasn't hot. I'm like, here we go. Oh no.
Yeah.
No, that is a great shot of espresso. Well, Rob, I really appreciate you taking me to coffee school, man. This was highly educational, and anybody that is a fan of learning or anyone that's a fan of coffee, man, they definitely got a kick out of this. But I'm really excited to taste some more of your drinks, and you also got some things to eat here too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We have pastries and we have some breakfast sandwiches, and I'll show you in a few minutes here.
All right, man. Well, I can't wait.
All right.
Okay, so back at it again. We got Rob next to me. As you guys saw, he pretty much just took me to Coffee University here in Seal Beach, California. Basically, that's what I'm calling Javatini's espresso right now, because I mean, I've been learning everything about making the best cup of coffee, whether we're talking about actually roasting it. Speaking of roasting, you just taught me that French roast is just a roasted at a heavier temperature for the beans, right?
Yeah, I get so excited sharing with people about coffee because there's just so much to learn about coffee, and people just don't know. And then when they get excited, I get excited.
Yeah, you are not just somebody that makes a great cup of coffee here, and you've learned the whole science behind it. But this is something that you are passionate about. Am I correct?
Oh yeah.
Now, how did you get because you came from a very technical career before you were making coffees. Where'd you come from again?
I used to be a mechanical engineer, and I just wanted to do my own thing, be my own boss, and I absolutely love it. And I can kind of follow my passion.
Yeah.
So-
It's great to start a job where you actually have passion versus, oh, I got a degree in this, so I got to do this for the rest of my life.
Right,
You know?
exactly.
And it's
exactly.
clear that you have a strong passion. Did you're what, engineer, electric, what was it called?
Mechanical engineer.
Mechanical engineer. So does that play a role in how you've been able to break down the process and the science of making good coffee?
Yeah, I think it gives me the analytical thought process, developing how the coffee, to dial it in exactly where it needs to be. And I have to admit, it helps repairing the equipment too. So, what can I say?
I'm sure it does, man. Helping to repair equipment and also getting down the technical side and, knowing how to go through different processes. I'm sure that all goes hand in hand.
And I also love the creativity that gets intertwined with that. And I didn't have as much of an opportunity for the creativity in mechanical engineering. And food is exactly that.
Yeah, definitely, man. And another thing I kind of wanted to touch on is the fact that you said that, you have, and you touched on it a little bit, but you didn't really go deep, but you have trained baristas here. Am I correct? Like you don't you don't have just somebody that comes in and pours you a cup of coffee and, keeps it pushing. These are trained baristas.
Yes, we have. As their training increases, we have a certification process, and that whole certification process is 2 steps. One is to learn how to do latte art, and another is to learn how to dial in the espresso, which is so critical that it tastes on point all the time. And we have a top-notch staff here.
Now, on top of just coffee, you don't just do coffee and all things caffeine here. You also have some pastries. You also make sandwiches, got good bagels here. I know these pastries come from a great cause and a great company that you also, really wanted to highlight and talk about because I think it's an awesome company. Why don't you share a little bit about what these pastries come from?
I'm a big believer in supporting the community, and we get all of our pastries through an organization called Homeboy Bakeries. And they're in downtown LA, which is not too far away, and they bring them to us each day. And they are an organization that help rehabilitate former people that were in gangs or incarcerated. And so it gives them a second chance on life, and it's a whole program that I just really love supporting. And not only that, but their pastries are really good.
Yeah, that is awesome, man. That's a great cause. Also, I kind of wanted to low-key talk about this bagel right here. I'm a Jersey boy. Anytime I see a good-looking bagel, I get really excited. Talk to me about where you get your bagels from.
Yeah, we get our bagels from a local place. It's called Bonjour Bagels, and they do a great job. We get them here fresh each day. And they're really tasty, and the customers here just love them.
Since I just mentioned this bagel, I think we're gonna have to take a bite out of this. I've been staring at this bagel. I gotta take a bite out of this just to figure out how good these bagels exactly are because they look phenomenal. I'm just gonna eat the side with the cream cheese. That's a good tasting bagel. So now I know if I just wanted to get a cup of coffee and a great bagel, definitely the place to be. So you also do a lot within the community, I'm correct?
Yeah, I've been involved. I'm a big supporter of the local community. It's pretty much a small town here, and I've been involved with the Seal Beach Chamber of Commerce. We have a car show, an annual car show here, helped with the Christmas parade, and a number of other things that have been very hometown kind of feel here.
Yeah.
So.
And then what am I looking at right here?
So this is our signature drink. It's called a Javatini. So it's kind of like a martini. So instead of having a martini, we actually have it with coffee. And what we do is we actually have had shaken drinks long before shaken drinks were popular. And this has long been our drink. So it's with half and half espresso, a little bit of vanilla, and you can see it's garnished with 2 espresso beans on top. It is really good. And I can promise you, if you're gonna stay here, be sure to say it's for here. So you get it in the martini glass, and heads will turn every time somebody comes in the door.
You know what that actually reminds me of? It's so tasty. It reminds me of the milk that's left over after you have cereal. Like that's how sweet and tasty it is.
Yeah.
It reminds me like, you just want to get that bowl and just, drink the rest of that milk, like Cocoa Puffs or something like that. That's what that reminds me of right there. That is crazy delicious, man. That is excellent. And that has caffeine in it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to sleep for about 3 days after all the caffeine I've had here today. Oh man, well, I've had a tremendous time here. We're going to touch lightly on these two so people can know what we're doing. What's this right here?
So we have also breakfast sandwiches. This is our egg, bacon, and cheese. And in this case, we have it on a croissant. You can also have it on a bagel. You can have it also on our English muffins. They're all very tasty. It's a fun little thing to have in the morning. And then over here we have our bear claw. That's of course from Homeboy. Now the croissant is from Homeboy. And the bear claw is also from Homeboy, so it has chocolate and almond, which is also very tasty.
Croissant sandwich, listen, anytime you have a croissant sandwich for a breakfast meal, it always goes down smooth. You got that bacon, great cheese, and of course the egg. That's just a perfect accompaniment to anything, honestly. Like, that is a great breakfast. And then we got this bear claw. Rawr. Oh, yeah, man.
There you go.
Homeboys. That's what I'm talking about. Well, Rob, I gotta tell you, man, especially with that bear claw, that goes great with either one of these for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But everything that I've had here today has been tremendous. You've really taught me more about coffee than I ever thought that I could possibly know.
Yes, well, thank you for coming, and I encourage you, if you're in the area, stop by and say hello. We got great tasting coffee, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Rob, I appreciate you, man.
All right, thank you,
so
Theo.
much. Absolutely.
Woo!
Woo, baby, I am jazzed up, and I don't know if I'm jazzed up because I've had more coffee today than I've had probably in the last year, or if it's because I am so excited about the process and learning here at what I like to call Coffee University here at Javatini's, because that is some of the best coffee, if not the best coffee that I've ever had in my entire life. And I love talking to Rob and his passion and how he broke down how to make the perfect brew. And I'm telling you, man, it's awesome that they also have such great options that you can also eat as well from a company that helps give people a second chance. Man, I'm telling you, if you are ever in Seal Beach, California, and I'm telling you, this is a destination, so you should come down here to go on vacation. But if you're ever in Seal Beach, California, definitely make your way on over to Javatini's Espresso. Well, I'm kind of souped, and I'm probably not gonna sleep for the next few days, but it doesn't matter, because I had a great time. So with that said, I'm Theo Williams for America's Best Restaurants. Hope to see you.